Yo, what's up, guys? I am here to make my third annual March Madness predictions. Last year, St. Peter's was the team that surprised everyone. And then the year before that, it was Oral Roberts. And crazy enough, Oral Roberts is in this tournament. Let me make my picks right now. Bama over Texas A&M CC. I'm going to go with Bama. Maryland and West Virginia, I'm going to go with West Virginia. San Diego State and Charleston, I'm going to go with San Diego State. Virginia and Furman, I'm going to go with Furman. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Furman. As again, just an advice, you probably need at least 3 upsets because upsets happen every March Madness tournament. So I'd have Furman as one of the teams having an upset. So I'm going to go with Furman over Virginia. Creighton and NC State, I'm going to go with Creighton. Baylor and UCSB, I'm going to go with another upset in UCSB. As again, you need at least 3 upsets, so you'll most likely see another upset from me. We'll see. But as again, I have UCSB beating Baylor. Mizzou and Utah State, I'm going to go with Mizzou. And Arizona and Princeton, I'm going to go with Arizona. Purdue and Farley Dickinson, I'm going to go with Purdue. Memphis and FAU, I'm going to go with Memphis. Duke and Oral Roberts, I'm going to go with Duke. Tennessee and Louisiana, I'm going to go with Tennessee. Kentucky and Providence, I'm going to go with Kentucky. Kansas State and Montana State, I'm going to go with Kansas State. Michigan State and USC, I'm going to go with Michigan State. Marquette and Vermont, I'm going to go with Marquette. Houston and Northern Kentucky, I'm going to go with Houston. Iowa and Auburn, I'm going to go with Auburn. Miami and Drake, I'm going to go with Miami. Indiana and Kent State, I'm going to go with Indiana. Iowa State and Pitt, I'm going to go with Pitt as another upset. As again, now I have 3 upsets. Could there be more? We'll see. Xavier and Kennesaw State, I'm going to go with Xavier. Texas A&M and Penn State, I'm going to go with Texas A&M. Texas and Colgate, I'm going to go with Texas. Kansas and Howard, I'm going to go with Kansas. Arkansas and Illinois, I'm going to go with Arkansas. St. Mary's and VCU, I'm going to go with another upset in VCU. UConn and Iona, I'm going to go with UConn. TCU and Arizona State, I'm going to go with TCU. Gonzaga and Grand Canyon, I'm going to go with Gonzaga. Oh, and side note for Gonzaga, past 2 years I voted for Gonzaga, but they lost both times, especially 2 years ago when they were undefeated. They lost to Baylor in the national championship. Anyways, moving on to this. Northwestern and Boise, I'm going to go with Northwestern. And then UCLA and UNC Asheville, I'm going to go with UCLA. On to round 2. Bama and West Virginia, I'm going to go with Bama. San Diego State and Furman, I'm going to go with another upset in Furman. I am predicting that Furman will be the Cinderella story of this year's March Madness. Last year it was St. Peter's, and then the year before that it was Oral Roberts. This year it's Furman. Furman will beat San Diego State in the round of 32. Creighton and UCSB, I'm going to go with Creighton. Mizzou and Arizona, I'm going to go with Arizona. Purdue and Memphis, I'm going to go with another upset in Memphis. Because Memphis did beat Houston in the AAC championship game. And, I'm going to go with Memphis beating Purdue. Duke and Tennessee, I'm going to go with Duke. Kentucky and Kansas State, I'm going to go with Kentucky. Michigan State and Marquette, I'm going to go with Marquette. Houston and Auburn, I'm going to go with Houston. Miami and Indiana, I'm going to go with Indiana. Pitt and Xavier, I'm going to go with Xavier. Texas A&M and Texas, I'm going to go with Texas. Because they're all of Texas for obvious reasons. Kansas and Arkansas, or I was just making fun. I'm going to go with Kansas. VCU and UConn, I'm going to go with UConn. TCU and Gonzaga, I'm going to go with Gonzaga. And then Northwestern and UCLA, I'm going to go with UCLA. On to the Sweet 16. Bama and Furman. Unfortunately, Furman's run is going to come to an end right here. I just feel like Bama is really good, especially with Brandon Miller, despite all the off-the-court issues that he's been facing. But still, I think Bama's going to beat Furman. Creighton and Arizona, I'm going to go with Arizona. Memphis and Duke, I'm going to go with Duke. Kentucky and Marquette, I'm going to go with Marquette. Houston and Indiana, I'm going to go with, what did I say? Houston. Xavier and Texas, I'm going to go with Texas. Kansas and UConn, I'm going to actually go with UConn. Kansas national championship hold on will come to an end right there. And then Gonzaga and UCLA, the rematch of the 2020 Final Four with the impossible game-winning shot. I still think Gonzaga is going to beat UCLA again. History will repeat itself from there. For the Elite Eights, Bama and Arizona, I'm going to go with Bama. Duke and Marquette, I'm going to go with Duke. Houston and Texas, I'm going to go with Texas because Houston is in Texas. And you know what I said about Texas and Texas A&M. Anyways, to get that out of the way. UConn and Gonzaga, for the first time, I will go against Gonzaga. I will go with UConn. On to the Final Four, we got Bama, Duke, Texas, and UConn. For the Final Four, Bama and Duke, I'm going to go with Bama. And I'm saying Bama because Duke has a lot of freshmen on their team, but Bama, they've been dominant. Texas and UConn, I'm going to go with Texas. Which means that the national championship game, which will be held in NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, I will go with... Oh, and before I make my selection, this game actually kind of reminds me of the Bama and Texas football game that happened back in September with Bama winning in Texas. And because of that, well, obviously not because of that, but however, history will repeat itself in terms of basketball, and therefore, I will have Bama as my national champion this year. As again, Brandon Miller, the freshman for Alabama, has gone through a lot over the past month with as again the off-the-court issues with the shooting of a girl in her 20s. But to get that out of the way, Brandon Miller has the most memorable year of his entire life by winning a national champion. So I have Bama as the national champion. And the score will be 75-70. There. Bama is my champion. Alright, well, that's all I got for today. Maybe I'll do this next year. Next year I'll do college if I can. But there is my predictions.